This man is Cole Smith. I'm thankful that he came into my brother's life and he inspired my brother to be who my brother is, and through that I met him and he inspires me to be a better person every day as well. So I'm going to hand the mic over to my man Cole here. Let's give it up for Cole.
So I'm gonna just share a little bit about myself, and then I'm gonna share just some different values that I have, and you might relate, maybe not. But so I'm from Saskatoon. My family's from St. Madeline, which is a Métis settlement in Manitoba. I didn't really know my native side until after high school. I was raised by my mom. We just moved a lot. And then when we came back to Saskatoon, pretty much all my indigenous side is here. A lot of family here, Flurries, Montes, Smiths. So really got to know them, got to learn about them, got to just kind of hang out. But I was kind of raised a little bit differently. I was raised with in the rich neighborhood. McNabb Park. Who knows McNabb Park? Yeah. A bunch of hotels now, not the rich neighborhood. But to a mother of five, and yeah, so we didn't grow up with much, but it was awesome to kind of see my mom, always work hard and she did a lot for us. So I was able to grow up with those kind of values. And then I got into the trades, became an electrician, and kind of got stuck in like a trades lifestyle. Just living for the weekend, drinking a lot, and I just thought that was my life. So I was just kind of stuck in that cycle. Got lucky enough to be introduced to some people that just thought differently, were more entrepreneurial, business owners. And I kind of just started changing my mindset, how I thought about myself, and how I thought about, the future I wanted and the future for my wife. And we didn't have Royce at the time, but we always knew we were going to have a kid or a couple. I started thinking about that and seeing how, people that were kind of living through their values, they had quite a bit of success. And they had a lot of free time, and they just did cool things, and they did it as a family. They weren't like two jobs, two different lives, come back, hang out at supper time, go to bed, split up again. They kind of did everything together as a team, and it was very admirable, and I just loved that, and I wanted to do that. So we became really good friends with them. We just hung out with them, and they started just changing our mind, changing our values, helping us grow, and it kind of inspired a lot of things. They directly helped us, not just financially, but mentally, spiritually. Our relationship grew. We became stronger as a team, and they taught us how to build business instead of traditional job, which is fine as well. My whole family are trades, and that's why I got into the trades. And but it just wasn't for me. So we were able to kind of build an e-commerce business, which went well. We were able to get out of debt, and then I was able to leave electrical and start a second business where I started actually coaching boxing. So I'm a boxing coach. It's kind of what I love to do, what I've done for a long time, just training, and then I got to turn that into a business. And now I coach athletes, and I compete as well in boxing. I'm a Golden Gloves champ, bronze gloves, and have a handful of boxers that compete pretty much every month. So we're traveling lots. But in the process of building this boxing business, I was able to meet a lot of different people as well, business owners, and led me to kind of expand that into also doing youth camps, boxing camps, specifically in the indigenous community. So, I've been up to One Arrow, Wapayton, Pelican Lake, Beardies, Takaku, White Cap, and a bunch of others where we're able to just go in there, have a full day sometimes. Sometimes it's a couple hours and we just do boxing, but some days it's a full day. And just kind of try and help out over weekends. And it's really been able to help me learn and grow, because going into those communities, I'm an outsider, right? I don't really know the language, I don't know the community, and I'm just slowly being able to learn that, and it's been really fun. We a lot of the times when I go, it's really focused on the medicine network, right? Who knows what those 4 aspects of wellness of the medicine wheel are? Does anybody know? Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. Yes, and it's very important. I like it. A lot of that stuff is like stuff that I didn't practice. A lot of the prayer and meditation side, I just didn't grow up with that. So it's been very new to me. The thing I like, so Denny and Rhonda are naturals. They just stand out here, This is my medicine wheel. This podium. Because it mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically protects me from you guys. This is not something I do regularly. So it's, I just want to thank them for letting me come up here and share. So that's a little bit of my story. I was a different person 5 years ago, and I've just been able to grow, change, and some of the things that I really think about, going into business and growing and becoming a leader. Boxing, I'm leading a ton of different people, and I really believe in leading by example, not the do as I say, not as I do. As my mother's style. I said, okay. So I like to lead by example. And that's big on that leadership. So I've been really trying to develop those skills, growing those skills, business-wise too. Growing businesses, you're just dealing with people, right? Doing these camps, I'm dealing with children, which is new. We have a new baby, but also just like I was never really around kids. Even when I was coaching, it was always adults, Never really got around youth that much. So that's even different, right? And a new fun experience. But some of the things I wanted to chat about, one of them that really just helps me keep going and keep moving forward is just having goals and dreams. And it's really something I never had for a long time. I was an electrician. And that was it. My plan was to be an electrician until I was 65. So, there's a lot of partying on weekends. That was, it was just, I thought, I was just kind of stuck in that. And I was fine. I wasn't like upset about it. I was just like, it just was. Right? And until I met the right people who spoke differently, and it helped me out a bit, they really allowed me to dream and set goals. Right? And one thing they always talked about was, that your dream has to be bigger than your excuses are. Or else any excuse will do. You'll just find the excuse. And I feel like when I ask people about their dreams and goals, they don't know. Or they say, I haven't really thought about it. That's not really something I thought about. Which is a scary thing, because if you don't know what your dreams and goals are, then you really don't know where you're going in life. You don't know, you don't have a direction, you don't have momentum, and you're just kind of staying stagnant, right? And it can be an overwhelming place, that midlife crisis, it's real, right? When you realize you don't know where you're going, how to get there, and that's one thing our business mentors, our coaches, and they are life mentors as well. It really helped us talk about, vehicles. Because, each dream, each goal takes a certain vehicle, right? And some people do love what they're doing, which is, there's a lot of people who love maybe being a teacher or love being a doctor or a nurse. But sometimes their dreams and goals are bigger than that. And they just have to change vehicles for a little bit, or add a different vehicle, which is fine, When you think about, a way to kind of envision that is like if you wanted to go to Hawaii, right? But you love riding your bike, everything, you love your bike, which is fine, but it's not going to get you to Hawaii, right? It's just not a possible thing for a bike to go across the ocean, right? You got to change vehicles. You got to get on a plane. You got to get on a boat. Once you're in Hawaii, you get back on that bike, right? So sometimes it's just like for moments. And I just really want you guys to take the time to just think about what your goals, dreams actually are. So you can kind of build a blueprint, create a route, think of Google Maps. When you want to go somewhere you've never been, you type it in, and then there's a route. You don't put the route in first. That doesn't make any sense, right? You gotta know where you're going, and then plan out that route. So goals and dreams is definitely a big one for me. Especially having a new son. I just want to give him a great life. It's one of our biggest things is just building something that is a legacy, right? I don't want him to have to restart. I want to build a legacy, right? Something I can pass on, help him out a bit, kind of teach him our values, pass on what we've built. It's funny because the Western world is it's weird. It's an odd way we live. It's like you have a kid, they restart. They have a kid, you restart. And every other place they're building family legacies. They're pooling their money together. They're working as a team. They buy a car as a family, a house, then another house, then a business, then another business. They have kids, and they continue, and they have grandkids, and they build this huge legacy. But for some reason, we want to start over every time, And it's like it's just an odd concept to me. But one thing also is purpose. Really understanding what your purpose is, and then just sticking to those daily habits, implementing those daily habits, because you don't want to lower your purpose to your daily habits. You really want to make sure you're raising your daily habits to match your purpose, right? And you try to really figure out what that is. And then the next thing I want to talk about was mentorship, because it was a big factor in my life. Even when I was in the trades, I think the trades way of schooling is phenomenal compared to other things. You school for a couple months, and then you get mentored for 10 months. You're hands-on. They're showing you how to do it, and that's a beautiful thing, right? Instead of going to school for 5-6 years and then getting thrown into something, right? And I think mentorship is awesome because I am not that awesome, I'm just like a normal dude, normal guy, drink every weekend, and I just met the right people, and I'm extremely coachable. I just they say go left, I'm like, okay, I'll go left, and I just copy, paste. I'm not a person that needs to find my own way, design it. It's like, it's working for you, I'm going to do it, And I'm fine with that. So that's another question, to just ask yourself, who's influencing you? Who influences you? When something's going wrong in your life, think of the top 3 people that you think of. Who do you go to when something's going down? And is that person a part of your goals and dreams? Do they have what you're looking for? Do they have maybe the finances, maybe the marriage, maybe the relationship with their kids, maybe there's all these aspects, and it's just because they're the closest to you, a brother, maybe a parent, maybe a you know, and just to really make sure you're being influenced, you know, the way you want to, right? I know, you know, I love my mother. My mother she's done so much for me, you know, a ton. In the relationship area, you know, I gotta go somewhere else, right? It's just, you know, and it's just the way it goes sometimes, right? Even though she's a huge influence for other things, you know, she's a very hard worker, she's very dedicated, you know, she loves her kids. There's one area where, you know, I gotta find somebody who's had a strong marriage for 10, 20, 30 years and get those questions answered, you know? How not to do it is not good enough, right? So it's a very important question, I think. You know, another big one is the people that we're mentored by have similar values to us. And I always feel like if you can get rooted in your values, if you can understand your values, get rooted in them, it makes each day easy. You wake up and you know what to do. Because you're rooted in your values. You know where you're going, who you are, and it makes these other decisions that are flying at you easy to decide. You know, that's not part of who I am, that's not my values. So no, right? Or yes. And you really want to get around people that live through their values. And that's what happened to us. You know, we got around a handful of people that were like, you know, said they were going to do things and they did it. You know, they had strong marriages, very, very close with their families. For me, not close. You know, even with like my brothers and sisters, we just weren't raised close, which is fine. You know, you know, when we have more kids, I would love for them to be close. You know, it's one thing I always wanted. You know, a brother that's like my best friend, right? So just having those values, seeing, you know, for me, being led by you know, strong men who serve on their wives and love them and show them respect and show their sons and how to respect women and their daughters how to be respected by men. You know, that's something that is a strong value of mine. You know, and that's the mentors that we have in our life. You know, they lead by example. So just think about that. Think about that. You know, you really want to manage your program. You know, you get to choose what your circle looks like, what your influence looks like, and I think that's one of the things that really propelled us. You know, in my mind, very quickly. You know, 6 years ago was when I was in the trades, and in that 6 years, you know, we just kind of flip things around, and you know, it doesn't take that long. You know, 3 months can be a long time. 6 months can be a long time. You know, 10 months, 12 months. That's you know, it's. You know, if you're 30, 40, 50, you know, you got another 50, 40, 30, 60 years. You know, you got a lot of time to just start making those changes, grow, and I think it's a powerful thing. And the last thing I wanted to touch on is just being grateful, gratitude. You know, and Cree is an excellent example of that. He shows a ton of gratitude all the time for all the things in his life, and so he's a good person to have around, and to just learn from, grow from. Because I'm grateful for the people that I have around me that allow me to lean on them, you know, so that I don't have to deal with things on my own, right? I don't have to try and figure things out in the moment. You know, if something comes up. You know, I can talk to people who have maybe gone through it, or know people who have gone through it, who have you know, more experience than I do, and that's huge from our coaches, our mentors, family. And then my wife as well. You know, she's a big part of that. She's a huge part of the team. You know, she's like, she does everything in the back. You know, she's very organized. You know, she's very organized. She handles paperwork, taxes, keeps track of expenses, cash flow, and what that allows me to do is kind of be out, you know, out networking, growing our companies, meeting people, doing these camps. It kind of gives me peace, you know, knowing that, right? And we just kind of learn each other's strengths and weaknesses. Right? I love people. I love talking to people. I love meeting people. It gives me energy. It takes energy away from my wife. You know, she also loves people, but it just affects her internally differently, right? Which is fine, right? And we just understand that. So what she does is it allows me to do what I can do, so that in turn it allows her to be the best mom, you know? So, and the best wife. I'm the best teammate, so I just recommend to you guys and just encourage you to get into the room of giants, you know, because I was let in a room. You know, I met a friend that I didn't see for 5 years randomly on a job site, and he was always just talking about business, and I was just like, whatever, you know, and then one day it just clicked. One day, we just always talk about business, and I was like, here he goes again. And then one day it just clicked. Whatever he said, I don't even know. But then I just started thinking that way, and it just happened. And, you know, he opened a door for us, and created a lot of changes, propelled us forward, and now I'm able to try and give back as best as I can to friends and family, and it's been a cool journey. It's been short, but it's gonna, you know, we got 100 more years. So I just want to thank Denny for allowing me to come out here and speak and share a little bit of my mindset. So hopefully that helped you guys, and hope you have a good night.